Has this ever happened to you that you're on Instagram and you're swiping through your reels and you come across a reel with this beautiful beach at sunset, which may be like an overwater villa, and you immediately send it to a friend saying, hey, we should go here someday? Well, Expedia just made that possible, quite literally.
Welcome to RSU by PriceLab's weekly podcast. Subscribe now.
Just a little while ago, Expedia launched a feature called Expedia Trip Matching, which essentially allows you to do exactly this. And here's what's interesting, that this is exactly how your next guest could find you and your property. Hi, I'm Yuvika Wahi from RSU by PriceLabs, your go-to source for short-term rental news and insights. Every week, we don't just report the news, but we make sense of what it means for you and what you should do next. This video is part of our series in which we are exploring how AI is changing the way people find inspiration to travel and book travel, especially with the lens of short-term rentals. I've previously talked about tools that allow you to book a trip on WhatsApp using AI, more or less, or Google's AI assistant and how it stands apart from all the other AI assistants available to you right now. And today on the agenda is Expedia Trip Matching. Let's take a look at how it works, what it gets right, and what it could mean for short-term rental managers who are trying to stay visible in this AI discovery-driven world. Well, since Instagram is really a mobile app, you don't really use it on your desktop, I thought that I would do a walkthrough on my phone to show how your average user might come across the trip matching feature. So let's get started. How we start is I'm on Instagram scrolling through reels and I come across this beautiful reel of this snowy winter wonderland. I don't yet know where it is. I see the snowy landscape and I'm like, actually, this looks beautiful. Maybe I could go here. Now, normally I would save this reel, maybe take a screenshot, send it to a friend maybe, and then quite likely than not, forget about it. But this time, I have the option of sending it to Expedia's official Instagram account through direct messages. That's it. I don't have to download an app. I don't have to fill a form. I don't have to go to a specific website. I'm already on Instagram and I have sent a message to Expedia. Now I'm going to my messages with Expedia to see what account has replied. And it just takes a few moments and I get what is an AI generated reply. It starts with magical Lapland, your magical wonderland. So obviously the AI knows the destination in this video is Lapland. Then it gives me a short intro about the destination, when to go, what to do, and a quick itinerary for a 5-day trip to Lapland, and a visual card with photos, as well as Expedia's hidden gems. Now, these are actually resorts that I could stay at. I'm assuming these might be the best from Expedia's hidden gems, where it highlights 2 specific places where I could stay using Expedia. But right below that, there are actual cards of a few accommodations available in the destination of my choosing. And what's interesting about these cards is that these are not just photos. Obviously, there's a hero image, but they also look like kind of look like mini booking pages right inside Instagram direct messages. In each one, you can see one attention-grabbing sort of like hero image that represents that destination best, which is picked up from that listing, I am guessing. Its rating out of 5, the number of reviews that property has, as well as the nightly rate. So even before I click anything, I can kind of start making decisions already. And so right now I'm very much in discovery stage. I'm just trying to find out more about this destination that I saw on Instagram randomly scrolling. But I can already see the types of accommodations that I could have there available to me, and the kind of ratings they have, what kind of price point are we talking about. Already I know this much. I mean, as a traveler, I'm thinking maybe this one looks cozy or this one's too pricey. This one has better reviews. Immediately, all these decisions are very easy to make. And I think that this is something interesting for short-term rental managers to pay attention to, because we already know that your price point, your reviews, your rating, the number of reviews and rating, they all matter on your listing, on Expedia, the app, the website, on Verbo, for example. But it's not just limited to that anymore. They are sort of your entire impression in sort of this AI discovery layer. This is your first brush with a potential guest. Next, I want to test how smart this thing really is, how well it personalizes to my needs. To what degree can it support me? So let's ask it. We're a group of 5 2 kids under 6. Where should we stay? Okay, so immediately there's a shift in tone. It's customizing to my request using words like family friendly, giving me family friendly resort options. It's even telling me, it has a brief descriptor for each of the listings, which still very much has to do with how family friendly the property is. And now it's also showing me how many each of the listings sleeps, which is very important information for me if I'm asking questions. If I've already provided the size of the party, so that's interesting. And obviously this is not random. This is AI automatically picking up the signal that I gave to it. I said the size of the party, that we have kids with us, so it knows, it has gleaned that what we're looking for are family friendly options, and is making sure that it's customizing its tone as well as the options that it's providing to me accordingly. It's basically picking up context, and it's adjusting the kind of recommendations it surfaces as well. It's not quite as powerful as like a full concierge yet. This is something that we've seen so far. In most cases, the funnel ends at inspiration, and you can't actually book within that environment, which in this case is Instagram direct messages. But that's also sort of not the point of this, at least at this time. The point so far is conversational travel planning, conversational trip planning. And you can literally plan your entire trip inside a chat window. It's kind of like texting with a friend, and it's happening in a place that you all exist in. More likely than not, you have Instagram on your phone, you open it a few times a day, you scroll through it a few times, obviously to catch up with your friends, but also to catch up with strangers that are your trusted advisors in a way, following creators, influencers who talk about things that you're interested in, including travel. So if I am on Instagram scrolling through my feed and I'm going to see travel content from creators that I have told Instagram I trust, and if I see, I don't even have to be on the Expedia ecosystem or on your particular listing. If someone else has made a reel about your destination, it goes viral, and I come across it and it looks like a place that I want to visit, now it's very easy for me to find out where that is, number one, yes, but also sort of help design an itinerary using an AI-powered agent. But in terms of limitations, this is kind of like a broken experience, which is to do with the booking process. Now, obviously, I was not really expecting to be able to book within Instagram DMs, because that's not something we've been able to see so far. In the US, the capability is available in some scenarios. Like I know on Perplexity Travel Hub, you can book hotels because of their partnership with Self-Book. But that is available in the US. It's not rolled out globally. And even then, it can be a little bit finicky. We're still very much in very initial stages of making that happen. So I wasn't really expecting to be able to book here either. But when I do click on the link on any of the cards, that it shows me the actual listing, I'm taken to the Expedia website in the browser, but it's picking up my location. And instead of taking me to the listing that I clicked on or even the destination, it's taking me to New Jersey, I'm assuming, because it's picking up my location as the United States and showing me listings nearby, I assume. I don't know if that's the case. However, it is not taking me to the listings that I have been recommended. That's something I feel like is possible to fix now as opposed to later. So yeah, it's not yet seamless, but that bridge is getting shorter between inspiration and booking. What's also interesting to me is what's happening behind the scenes, like how Expedia is using visual recognition to identify the destination in the reel. Well, we obviously know that the text signals the captions the person is using or the actual location tagged. What if there's any text overlay in the video, those are going to be dead giveaways immediately. But it's also picking up, kind of like Google Lens, any landmarks, any identifiers in the video itself, in the visual, to identify which destination is in the video, but also the metadata of that video file. I mean, that's what AI is good at, right? Being able to access this data quickly. So this metadata makes it very easy for an AI tool to identify the destination, even if it's not mentioned in the video anyway. So just like I tested it with a reel that I had posted when I had been in Italy a few years ago, and I don't actually mention the destination anywhere in the video itself, but it was still able to pick up that this is the Amalfi Coast, and it was able to give me the actual destination shown in the video, Ravello, etc. So it's able to use this data to recognize, and once it recognizes the destination, it's able to tap into Expedia's internal graph, all the hotels and destination and activities data that Expedia has, and match it and use that to build a suggested itinerary. It's like the AI is kind of understanding your vibe and helping you live it. And that's a very powerful jump. You see something aspirational on social media, and then you immediately have a way to act on it. This is kind of how TikTok Shop works, right? You see a creator talking about a product, and you immediately have the option of clicking through and purchasing that product. And that's also how Instagram shops also work. You can actually buy products from within Instagram, and that has been possible for a while. While you cannot book your trip, you can definitely plan it end to end using Instagram DMs, and you don't even need to know the product, or in this case the actual destination. You just need to know what you like the look of. So what does this mean? For travelers, this is frictionless discovery. You don't have to see, search, compare. You see something and you can start planning. For short-term rental managers, this is a shift in how visibility works as well. More and more optimizing for Instagram, optimizing for visuals, your property is going to make a lot more difference than it has. If you thought it's been a factor so far, it's only going to become more of a factor in the future. I mean, Expedia's AI, for example, is surfacing properties on some very clear signals. Image quality, reviews, price transparency. So if your property performs well on those metrics, it's more likely to be shown. But obviously there will be other factors, of course. Vrbo especially has tightened the criteria for visibility on its platform. In a way, there are more hoops for property managers to jump through, but it's also allowing Vrbo to make sure just the quality of the listings on the platform tight as can be. It also makes it possible to call out the bad actors from a market to make sure that only the most professional sort of survive. You could say that this tells us that discovery is moving, that people are not starting their travel planning on, let's say, Google, for example. But in my opinion, this is a case of infrastructure moving where discovery already happens. In my experience, and there's plenty of data to support it, people use visual platforms like Instagram, like TikTok, Pinterest to be inspired, not just in terms of where to go, but also what to wear, what to purchase, how to spend their money. The ability to see what your life could look like is a big driver in decision making. So people have always, since Instagram has been a thing, looked to Instagram, to people on Instagram to be inspired to find aspirational content. And this is just a matter of Expedia going where the inspiration already happens and making sure it's there, available to serve in the way that users need it to. It's meeting travelers where they are even before they start booking or even thinking to book. By embedding itself inside Instagram DMs, Expedia is collapsing the funnel. Inspiration, research, and eventually booking can all happen within one interface without the user ever having to leave that app. And that means that the competition for visibility starts much earlier than when even before somebody opens the OTA website. So what's the big takeaway here? Is this a gimmick? I wouldn't say so. I think this is just more than just a cool gimmick. It's yet another sign of where travel planning is headed. Travelers want the journey from dreaming to doing to be seamless. And AI can make that happen inside the platform they already use every day. Think about the kind of fatigue you feel when you realize you need to download one more app to do one other thing. So for short-term rental managers, this is another signal that visibility isn't just about keywords or pricing anymore. It's about context, visuals, and relevance. The reel that someone saves today could be the booking that happens tomorrow. And your listing can be the one that they see first. Maybe the future of travel is not in the search bar. Maybe it's a reel, a TikTok, a WhatsApp message even, and technology fitting around what you already do. Again, I'm Yuvika Wahi from RC by Price Labs. If you want to keep up with series, don't forget to hit subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube. And if you're a short-term rental manager, I would love to hear what you think of this progression in discovery, in how people discover your listings, how that's changing, how that's shifting. So let me know in the comments. See you next time.